Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show and another episode of the White Rose Rivals Easter Madness. Easter weekend always throws up some shocks and some surprises. It's a double header, Good Friday and Easter Monday. We're going to be covering all the Yorkshire-based teams in the Championship. Please make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to all these lads' respective podcasts as well, and get your comments in, like I say, just to hit that algorithm up, and any questions or comments, just do fire them in for us. Before we get into the games, though, let's check in and find out how everyone is. Ash, I'll come to you, mate. Nice 10 days we've had? 10, 12 days off, I think. Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah. It's been a good break, going in for the madness for the last 8 games for all our teams. We've got something to play for, haven't we, at the minute? Matt, I'm being nice, Matt. That was nice. We've all got something. So yeah, mate, it was a good break. But yeah, back at it tomorrow and Monday. It'd be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm really excited for the Easter fixtures. To be fair, there's some decent ones in there. Cossie, what about you, mate? Have you enjoyed the weekend?
Joe, I watched Harrogate beat Bradford. That's how bad it is, mate. International weekend, and big smile on my face as Harrogate got that big win in the big Yorkshire derby. But no, I hate it, mate. I hate it. Gareth Southgate's put me off football again, and yeah, I mean, I just want it to carry on. I don't like these international breaks, and the things we haven't got many international players. But obviously, you guys have doing a bit of research on. Oh, we've got more than I thought. So you guys must have been sweating. And Man City, Pep must. I know he's got a luxury, luxurious riches, but he's lost his back line, hasn't he, for the game? But yeah, I'm not a big international man at all, mate. And yeah, even that Wales-Poland penalty shootout, we're like, okay, but get the good stuff back, man.
I know that March international's pointless as well, because the majority of them are not competitive. So we've 10 games left in the Prem, 8 games left in the Championship, and these players are having to go play internationals.
Just have one game, Joe. I mean, what? Even if
don't need any for me,
15-0,
don't need any.
Does it them 2 games? We didn't win one of them. Does it really affect our chances in Gelsenkirchen in that first game when we played? Does it help, mate?
No, it doesn't.
I get obviously them international playoffs games like Wales, Poland, what have you, but we didn't need to play 2. But yeah, they don't seem to. I know footballers are well paid, blah blah, but it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It just
pointless.
No, mate, pointless, man.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, we've got 4 Wales players as well, and Dan James missed the penalty, and then Connor Roberts went off injured, and they've had to play 120 minutes of Football Road on an Ampadu, so it wasn't great for us, I can't lie, but yeah, they need to get rid of it. Matt, any international bodies at your gaff? Were they out anywhere?
Yeah, we got 2. Victor Jansson, who was 2nd or 3rd choice for Sweden, and Rina Mota went to Zimbabwe. And continued his losing streak as he plays for Rotherham.
And he's come back to Rotherham and all. Bloody hell,
exactly.
Wow. Still up for it.
Yeah. What do you make to Johansson just on that? Because everyone keeps telling me we need to sign him. Do you think he should be at the top end? He gets a lot of praise, doesn't he?
Yeah, he'll be in the Championship again next year. He's got a relegation clause of around $1 million, might be a bit more than that.
Right.
If I'm something like Hull or West Brom or something like that who needs if I need a keeper in the playoff area next season, go pay £1 million for him, because if he has, even after one season, you'll still sell him for more than £1 million anyway. So you're guaranteed a profit, and he is a brilliant keeper. He could probably play in the Premier League now, but that might be a bit of a push. But he's certainly a top end Championship keeper.
Nice. And have you enjoyed your break, mate? I know you've just got back from work, but have you enjoyed the no football for a bit?
No, I hate international breaks at the minute. I'm saying it's Southgate's just he's not the guy for me. I don't think going in this tournament, and it's just a drab. I didn't even watch the second game. I watched the first half, and I said, "Nah, screw this." I didn't even watch the second half. But no, it's been interesting. I was watching England 21s actually, because obviously we had Philogene and Morton playing. So that was interesting. Seri was away with Ivory Coast, and Abdush, I think, was away with Turkey. So yeah, it's been settled personal wise, but no, I don't enjoy international breaks at all. Club football all the way.
Yeah, Archie Gray scored on his debut start and that as well, so that was good.
Tyler Morton got man of the match though.
Nice, well, he can have that, mate. How did Philogene get on? Any good?
He scored, I think, but it was literally a Howard Bellis header from a corner, and it hit him and went in.
Ah, right, okay. Well, he's used to them deflections, even when they're like rainbow.
Yeah. I was
flicks or
waiting for
whatever,
Matt to pipe up actually.
Andy Toon says, afternoon, John, lads, on a break, so I'll have 10 minutes for you guys. Legend, mate. Thanks for the super chat. Right, let's get into the weekend's football then. We'll start with Matt. Let's start with Matt. Obviously, you're away Friday, away at Preston, and then at home against Millwall on the Monday. Like that Millwall game should have had something riding on it, but you don't, aren't you, mate? So it's like, how do you assess these two games? Is it just a case of using youngsters? What's the deal at Rotherham, pal?
Yeah, I mean, this run of fixtures should have been massive. We've got Preston, Millwall, then Plymouth. And if you're in with a fight, those games are absolutely huge. Obviously, they're not. We could be relegated on Friday, but it'd take they take like 3 or 4 teams to win. So I think that's unlikely. So it's probably going to be Monday that will be officially down. I think once we're down, I'll be quite looking forward to seeing some kids play. I don't really want to scar them with a relegation on your debut or something like that. I think he needs to wait for the time being. I just want the season to be over with. There's not much really to say. We want to get a result or performance because most of these guys won't be here next season. So if I get a performance out of them, that's great, but it doesn't really help us in the future. We need 4 points to not equal the record of record points, low points, which is our record. It's just get over and done with. If we can bloody some nose and upset some people between now and the season, that's funny. But I suppose it don't really mean anything when you've got 20 points at the bottom of the league.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, Matt, sorry, Matt. I was reading, again, it's not, well, maybe it is excuse, but been reading about your training ground. Apparently, it's been garbage, hasn't it? Poor training. I didn't realise they've been having to play on artificial pitches for a long time. And it was quite an interesting interview, really. Because I think Liam Richards didn't want to kind of use it as an excuse, but he basically said, how can you prepare for, like, when you're playing top class teams like in Leeds, Ipswich, and what have you, and stuff as well, when you can't even get on your training ground. So I think, is it right that Tony Smith's going to spend a bit of money on them pitches and stuff as well? But that kind of stuff, I know, like, fans don't want to hear this stuff, but it's got an effect. I mean, you remember when it kind of snows, you hear, so we couldn't get on the grass. But when you're having to do it, like, pretty much every training session, it's tin pot, really, isn't it, for the championship team, really, to be able to go somewhere else to play, find some grass. It's rubbish, that, man.
100%. It goes back to last season. We spoke to Matt Taylor on our podcast last year when he was manager, and we asked him about the training ground because there were a few bits last year, and he told us that that's something the club wanted to sort out. We want to sort training ground out because they had some issues last year, but they decided to improve the home pitch, the stadium pitch, which is a multiple award-winning football pitch. They then didn't fix the training ground, and because the training ground's knackered, they had to play on the home pitch, which is now knackered. Because it's just stupid.
Sums up the season.
Sums up the season, sums up the club at the minute. This goes back to I think it goes back to around Christmas time. We mentioned the Leeds game when we weren't able to train prior to that. I think it was in January we played them. So it's been going on for at least a few months. When you're a team that's not very good, you need everything. You need every marginal gain you can get to be able to take points off these better teams. And if you're not training for half a week, then you're going to lose most of these games. And when it gets to crunch time, it's a close game. You're not going to be able to get out of line because you haven't had that training in the bank and whatever. It just sums up the season. To be honest with you, it's just a shambles from top to bottom a minute.
Yeah, is it? Have they started to sort of prepare for next season, or are they mentioning anything, or is it very much still? We're still mathematically in with a chance.
I think at the minute that's what he's saying publicly is that we're concentrating on this season. He's starting to get asked those questions by press about contracts and things like that, but he's kind of batting him away, which I kind of understand. We talk about integrity of the league. We've still got to try and get these points off people and try and win the games, even if it is a bit pointless for us. But if those conversations aren't being had with those guys that are out of contract, and there's about 10 or 11 players out of contract, if those conversations aren't being had now, then that'll be another add to the shambles column, because you've got to get it done. We have a luxury. It's not of being relegated early means you can plan. You can talk to those 11 players who you want to keep. Are they going to stay? If they're not going to stay, we can start talking to agents then about who is going to be available in the summer, who wants to come to League One, whereas other teams will have to wait till early May to find out. So you've got to take that advantage while we've got it. And we prefer not to have the advantage, but if you've got it, you've got to take it, because otherwise we'll be on back foot again. We were on back foot last year, and you've got to make sure we are not back foot in League One, because you could start tumbling them.
Mm-hmm. Do you have in terms of the fixtures that are remaining, I know you mentioned obviously you can maybe upset a few people. Do you play any of these lads? Is there an opportunity to like have
Don't
a say
go
in
there,
the
Joe. Don't go there, mate. They've killed us, I think.
Well, yeah.
You were better side that day. Post that should have scored. Ex-Bradford guy up front from the rebound, and the one thing that just depressed me, back line so slow. I keep forgetting that Ayala's there, and obviously being injured. Morrison, he was a bit of a playoff legend for us 12 years ago, but his legs are totally gone, and it's you could kind of see your weaknesses, but obviously haven't come on to us yet, but I was quite struck how you just didn't have much attacking flair, did you? You could see everyone's problems there. It was like a Samaritans game counselling session for people who just don't like football. Talking to some of your guys in the bars before the game and that as well. They were just obviously because you do it quite a bit, don't you? Go up and down. So you don't if we go down, they'll be like, oh my god, and all this stuff. But yours was kind of this is what we do. We just get on with it. They just there were a lot of criticism of Tony Stewart from a lot of the guys that I spoke to, and that as well. But then part of me's thinking, no offence, but who's going to want to come in and pump money into Rotherham United or Huddersfield or anyone really? It's a waste of time, isn't it? But it was a strange kind of thing. A lot of people, I get it, when you get relegated before the end, people just rather stay in the bars and not come to the ground, but people were proper dragging themselves to the stadium, and especially when we got in, no wonder.
They were nobody there. They get 11,500, which is almost a complete sellout. And there were just empty seats everywhere. They've just automatically counted season ticket holders. I bet there were 7,000 people in there, and there were 2,500 were Huddersfield fans. We play Millwall, play Plymouth. We've got Birmingham as well, but that's third to last game. So if they might drag themselves out a little bit. We've got last two games of Bristol City and Cardiff, which are going to be the most pointless games ever because both teams are fighting for nothing and we'll be down already. It'll be a complete waste of time game. But that's when we might start winning. When there's nothing counting on it.
No pressure.
Classic shit team.
Yeah. We all feel sorry for you, Matt. I can't lie to you. Do you want to give us some score predictions for your two games over the weekend?
I'll go 2-0 to Preston and I'll go 1-0 Millwall.
Cool. Let's go round and predict some scores, Ash.
Yeah, I'll go saying 2-0 Preston, but I reckon you might get a draw against Millwall.
Nice.
Or should I say I'm hoping for you to get a draw or a win?
Brilliant. What about you, Cossie? You're Mystic Mac with this stuff, so
not really. I've faded away a bit, but good. I'm glad you have picked up on that, Joe. But 3-0 Preston. I think they'll have a nice day out tomorrow on Rotherham's behalf, and I think it'd be one apiece as well. Well, you didn't give a score, did you? But I suppose they're 1-1.
1-1.
1-1, mate. Rotherham Millwall. Hopefully that'll do.
Yeah, I think Preston 2-0 and a draw as well. Rotherham Millwall, to be honest, having seen Millwall 1-1. And what about you?
I think I'm going to pretty much follow suit and say Preston probably to win 2-0. I kind of want Rotherham to do us a favour because they shipped in 10 goals against two teams that we really needed them to get something against in our playoff chase. So we really needed them to do us a favour. So I'm hoping to get something Preston, but I think 2-0 Preston and everyone else gone for a draw. I'm gonna put my neck out, right, and I'm gonna say Rotherham are gonna win 1-0.
Nice.
We need some. The power that Rotherham have got in their hands, like at the top of the league and the bottom of the league, it's they're the kingmakers of the championship.
Love it. Right, let's move on next then to Chef Wednesday. We're moving up the table. Chef Wednesday have got.
I wonder who's going to be last, eh?
I'm saving because we play Hull, don't we? So we've got to save the Yorkshire Derby till last. That's all. But Chef Wednesday, you've got Swansea, mate, and you're away at Middlesbrough, which Swansea. I swear Swansea have found a little bit of form of late as well, haven't they? They beat Cardiff recently and stuff in their big games. So, how's the nerves and feeling around the Wednesdayites, mate? Obviously, you've got 8 games to go. You're still in with a chance of staying up.
Yeah.
How's the nerve, mate?
Personally, I'm all right. I'm holding it a little bit. But yeah, I think there is. I think obviously Swansea and Middlesbrough this weekend, but then we do have QPR and Stoke the next 2 games after. So they're the 2 that really are going to probably decide how the last 4 games go. With 4 points for us this weekend will be great. A win against Swansea at home, which our home form under Danny Rule is not the worst. It obviously was bad at the start of the season, but he's really got his home form there. And a draw at Middlesbrough that they've been up and down for me. I haven't the Middlesbrough. I think I picked them on the first show to be dark horses, but they have been a bit. So I'm going for a win for Wednesday and then a draw away at Middlesbrough. And then obviously you always look over your shoulder at the other results from the other teams around us. And at the minute there is 7-8 teams that are all down there. So it is going to be an interesting running, definitely. But we're missing Pervader, it looks like, tomorrow. So which is a BA. He's out injured. He's probably a bit too soon. He's probably back for Monday. But yeah, that's a big one. And Bannon was come off injured last game. He looks like he should be fit. So if he was gone as well, then yeah, there's 2 influential players there for Wednesday that might be missing. But
can we talk about that last game, mate? Because I decided to do a watch along, thinking you might do something, and I turned it off at half time when you were 3-0 down, and then I came back and it was 6-0. What happened there, mate?
What game's that, mate? Yeah, it was just horrific. Well, that's it, isn't it? And it was one of those that even wasn't that. If we'd have come away with a draw, people were quite confident going into it, but Ipswich are in some good form. If we'd have come away with a draw, it'd been fantastic. But I think just he went 4 at the back. He set it up all wrong, and just from the offset, it was just horrific. Luckily, obviously, we've had 12 days to recover, get on the training pitch after the internationals. So, yeah, that's our goal difference is shocking anyway. So it's not even dented that really, because it was bad. We were always going to be behind on that. So it's just forget about it now. Dust it off. We've had, like I said, had 10, 12 days. I had a few players go away for international and done well. So, I think the feeling around the place will be quite upbeat, saying you're coming back off for a 6-0 whooping.
Yeah.
Joe, I was saying like, on that relegation rivals podcast we did on Monday, obviously you were there, Joe, and neither was Mr. Tiger in the corner. But the one thing that I argued that I would say that a 0-0 for Huddersfield at Rotherham did more damage to Huddersfield's chances of staying up than Wednesday getting beat 6-0 at Ipswich, which might sound one of those stupid things to do, because I just think that Danny Rowe's got this great knack. And I mentioned that game that when they got battered against us, and I was thinking even at that stage, what was that game in Feb? I can't remember. Was it? Early March? And I'm thinking, wow, that could be that. And my mate, who I were in Spain at the time, a big Wednesday, I were like, we're done. And I was like, you can't say that, because Rowe kind of gets a tune when after a big defeat. So I honestly think like that Ipswich game, I don't think it'll have much psychological effect, where I think with us throwing at Rotherham and the way we played, I'll come on to ours obviously next, but I think that'll have more effect. So I think it's just one of those you can just chuck in the bin. We did that under Warnock so many times last year. We were getting people think it were all like just this dream run. We won at the end, but we got beat 4-0 by Coventry. We got beat 4-0 with someone else. I can't remember who it was. But Warnock would just like chuck it in the bin. We'll get going again. And I think Rowe's the same. The interesting thing that Sunderland, there's a bit of a link there with him in it. I don't know if it's just lazy kind of journalism or whether they're going to just wait till the end of the season before they appoint. But I don't know if there's much in it. But I don't think it'll derail or will it that? I think it's just a bit of paper talking in that.
Yeah, he's had his press conference today, and he's basically rubbished it, and then trying to move on from it. It's going to be there, isn't it? But he's got a job to do. Last 8 games, and he's got to be laser focused.
He's a good manager, though. He seems like a good coach, young, up and coming. I think. Yeah, he seems decent, doesn't he? Do you have much confidence then going into the 2 games you've got, mate? Obviously, Swansea. And then you're away at Borough.
Yeah, more so the home game against Swansea. Like I said, 3 points tomorrow and a point at Middlesbrough, and then it'll be a really good Easter. And then, like I said, you're just looking at all the teams, and then you've got to move on to QPR, which is going to be a massive game for us. So yeah, pretty confident. like I said, the only missing player that's been playing is Paveda, which is going to be a big miss. Obviously, he's come in and done wonders. Really good player. And then we'll see. There's going to be. I think we're on course for nearly 30,000 there, which is fantastic. You know how much we charge and all that with our owner. So if we can get close to that, it'll be fantastic atmosphere.
Yeah. Come on then, let's go around and see how everyone else is feeling for these two. Cossie, obviously you have a dog in the fight. Really, you're just above them, aren't you? How do you see these two games going for Wednesday?
I'm going to be controversial. I think Swansea are going to win tomorrow, and I honestly wouldn't have said that if. I mean, Bannon, obviously, you're saying he's probably going to be fit. I were reading that he won't, but you know your club more than me, and obviously Pavida. But honestly, if them two were like guaranteed, obviously Pavida ain't playing, but Bannon might. But will he be fit? I don't know. I've got a feeling Swansea, with a big crowd there, I've got a feeling it could be a bit tense, tomorrow. Well, that's their feeling. I just hope. And just, because I think we've got Swansea to play at home as well, and they're just a funny one because I think you look at that thing, well, they're nothing to play for, blah blah, but they've a little bit of form. I don't know. I think Swansea might win there tomorrow, but maybe it's me. Heart ruling my head on this one. 2-1 Swansea.
Do you give them any hope going to Teesside and play Middlesbrough?
Yeah, I think they'll get a draw, but I'm not sure they'll win it. But honestly, I think Middlesbrough games are the hardest to predict in the league this year and that as well. It's incredible because they had that bad start, then they came strong. I think here we go again. They're going to get in the playoffs, and then it's kind of petered out. But the place will be a bit flat. It's there for Wednesday to do it, innit, on Monday and that as well. But I think they might just have enough to get a draw. But it's honestly, I suppose 6 points. This is the beautiful thing of division, isn't it? If Wednesday got 6 points out of these two, you would not be surprised. But no. I'm going to give them 1.
1 point. There we go. Matt, how do you see these going for Wednesday?
The huge games, aren't they? Easter weekend's brilliant. And you get 6 points and you're out of relegation zone and you're out of fight probably. You pick up 0 and it's not curtains, but it's not far off. It's been interesting to see how if that 6-0 affects them or not, because that's a big defeat. I know they were brilliant Ipswich, but that's a big defeat. And I know it come from the Huddersfield game, but can he do the same again? Is it the same job to come back from a relegation rival to getting back against a good team? I'm going to only draw because I think Swansea have picked up. They were sleepwalking towards relegation before the new manager came in, weren't they? So I think he's done. Yeah. He looks like he's got something about him. So I'll go 1-1 in the Swansea game, and it could be anything against Borough. You never know what you're going to get. Like Gossie said, it could be anything. I have gone for a Borough win, 2-1 Borough, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Wednesday pick up a win there.
Yeah, no, yeah. I to be honest, I reckon a draw against Swansea, and then I think they might beat Middlesbrough. Why not? 4 points for me. Like you say, Middlesbrough have just been all over the shop. Although of late they have, got some decent results, but then they might be due a dip again, mightn't they? So let's go for a Wednesday win away from home. And what are you saying ahead of these?
I think they'll beat Swansea. I'm still not convinced by Swansea. I think they're kind of one of the very few teams that probably have nothing to play for. I know they're technically still in a relegation fight, but I think there's too many teams that are worse that they shouldn't go down. But I think Wednesday at home, because Wednesday for me are one of those sides down there that I think have the ability to pick up wins and get themselves out of it. And I think Swansea is going to be one of those games. But then I think they're going to do that typical what Wednesday have done recently under Roll, where they get a really nice convincing win against Swansea, but then they'll have quite a disappointing defeat against Borough. So I'll go, I think 2-1 win at home to Swansea, and then I think they'll lose something like 3-1 at Borough.
Right, okay, cool. Come on then, Ash, we've left you till last. Do you get your 6 points?
No, 4 points for me. I'm gonna go 2-0 at home against Swansea, and then a 1-1 draw away at Borough. Yeah. 4 points. I'm been more than happy with that. Obviously, it'll be like a couple of weeks ago where we won a couple of games on the trot, and so did 6 of the other teams round us. So it's good. That could happen. Anything could happen. It's getting that way where it's whoever blinks first type of thing. If there's a team out of these 6, 7, 8 that lose both games over the weekend, and a couple of the others do pick up 3 or 4 points, then there will be. Yeah, it's massive. Be looking. Because what is it? Is it 5 points between the bottom, like 20 to 15?
Yeah, like I think Millwall are on 43, and like you say, you're on 38. Yeah. So if you get them points, mate. Come on, tell us. Are you staying up, man? You've got 8 games left. This is it. This is the running. There's the Friday game, then I think 6 in April, and then we've just got the end of the season on the 4th of May. So it's quick. It's quick, man. In a month's time, are you going to be staying up? Will you have secured it, or will it be a final day job? Do you think?
I hope it's not a final day job. We're away at Sunderland, and that's not gone well for us for the last few seasons there. So, but positivity, yeah, I think we will. Yeah. I think we will stay up. I agree with totally what Ant said about he looks at Sheffield Wednesday and we have got a good couple of results in us. Whereas you're looking at some of the other teams around that are dropping, like we mentioned Plymouth and Blackburn. Yeah. They've got horrendous running, especially Blackburn. So I'm confident. I think, yeah.
Good. Ash, you think got an hard last game?
Pardon?
We're at Ipswich hard last game. They're just going to win it to get that second spot under and that as well. And God, yeah. Man, I know you'll think that's an hard game with that as well. They go up with Leicester and that as well and put Leeds at playoffs. What a shocking last game we've got. Oh, sorry, Joe. I didn't realise you were still listening.
For me to still be sat here, just the recording before Easter, and still be positive after the start. And
of course. After,
I am going to rewatch some of these shows from the first few weeks, lads. If we survive, because I may make some clips, Joe. You know,
I won't care. I'll won the league, man. I don't care, man. That's fucking fine.
The thing that I've really liked about him is always changing culture. It's not about obviously the wins have obviously massively helped, but I like the stuff he's doing with the fans off the pitch. He's brought like. Obviously, there's still massive hate to Chancery and that kind of stuff, but everyone seems to be on board with it. And big heavy defeats. God, if we'd have lost the 6-0 just before Easter, even like Brighton has been in 2 minutes, there'd have been hell on, mate. It'd have been toxic. But it just seems to me like it's not his fault. He's done a great job. He's got everyone back behind their club. And I think that's got to be applauded because that's not easy because that's his personality shining through, mate, there.
I think that is probably one of the things of Danny Rule is night and day. Obviously, you've got the day of Danny Rule, really, the fans have took to him. And then you've got night of Chancery at the background, which is you've seen all the protests about his ownership and all that. So you have got this manager that's come in and basically from the first week has took the fans and the fans have took to him. And that, I think, with that fan behind him, even though all the rubbish that's going off the pitch has been... Yes, there's been some shocking results. We've seen Huddersfield, Ipswich, but there's been some fantastic results as well. And just that momentum from where we were, and I think that's the biggest thing, from where we were to where we are now, and the still in there, is great.
And there you go. Donna, who's a Leeds fan, by the way, backing you to stay up there, mate. So there you go. Cossie, Ash is quite confident. How's the confidence over in Huddersfield? Because to be fair, like after you got a point in your cup final, you've dropped like a stone, mate. So what's going on?
I know, mate. I've been celebrating, haven't we? That up and top bus, it were like, Gaza and sharing with Dennis chair, mate. We've been like boozing for like 4 weeks.
That Kevin Nagel, man, he won't keep our names out of his mouth, man. What's wrong with him?
I'm really worried, mate. I'm really worried. Obviously, that Relegation Rivals podcast, the Rotherham game's done a lot of damage, mate. Psychologically, it's been interesting to hear the press conference yesterday with Brighton, right? Because, cut long story short, we just pulled up stumps after an hour and settled for a point. But the caveat is we had 10 men, so but Thomas got sent off. But for me, that was a must-win game, and even 10v11. I mean. He snapped at the press conference yesterday. Johnny Buchan, I know really well, Radio Leeds. I told him to ask him a question and that as well, and he kind of did, but he really kind of went. He's like, we were playing well. We looked like scoring with 10 men. There were no need to bring all these attacking subs off the bench, and I was just thinking, mate, that's just bollocks because we weren't looking like scoring whatsoever and creating nothing. But it was almost like we have to put that game to bed. But the one thing I just think we didn't need, and I suppose it doesn't matter that coming in the end of March, but I just felt that we didn't need to be in the national break. It's stewing on 2 weeks being on that game in the relegation zone. But yeah, and honestly, I've got to be people that think I'm downbeat, but I honestly think Coventry at home is probably one of the worst games you can have tomorrow. And hopefully 24 hours later, he was saying it worst games. Huddersfield won 3-0. He talks bollocks. Let's hope everyone's saying that, but I was watching that Wolves Conti game, which to me I can't think of a better finish for many a day. Not knockout and Deeney and all that stuff, and Aguero. But to me, that was one of the most amazing finishes of a game of football ever. I was like, wow, we've got to go to New York Stadium now and watch two absolute teams that are stinking out the building. That was football, mate. Away and all men going, giving it to Coventry, and then Coventry fans the limbs and what they were doing. But there were people said to me, "Oh, that's good for us, that because they'll be worried about the cup." And I'm thinking, no way, mate. They've got it all to do. They need to win, so a draw is not an option tomorrow at Huddersfield, and everyone's going to want to play at Wembley out there against Man United. So to me, Mark Robbins is again coming back. Not that he's been back a few times, so I don't think that's going to have too much to it. But I also think it's a shocking game to have. The only thing that I'm positive about is that, honestly, we cannot take the game to anyone. Matt will tell you, Huddersfield, you're embarrassing, mate. Like, passing, rubbish, mate. There's no one. We haven't got any, ball playing. We haven't had a decent ball playing midfielder since Aaron Boy. God, we're talking 7-8 years. We've never had one, mate. And we can't. Everything's just hard work. So, but Thomas is banned for tomorrow. Stupid sending off. And, the only thing is we can play maybe a bit on the break, Coventry, unless there's a master plan. Brighton, right? And I mean, Reece Sealey, one of the strikers, he can maybe play half an hour. But I'm really worried, Joe, because I know we joke about that Leeds game, but honestly, I came out that ground thinking, I'm not saying there's no way we can go down because we're in the mess, but I just was thinking, we'll come back from injuries. The way we'd played, I thought we might have won. Who knows? If they haven't been sending off debate, obviously. Yeah. And then since then, we've scored 2 goals in 4 games. We haven't won any of them. And the Rotherham game, I just thought, wow. The thing that really worries me later on in the piece, we've got like Swansea and Birmingham at home, and you're thinking, well, who knows where, Swansea obviously not to play for, but Birmingham and Millwall to come the next home game. If they park the bus, Joe, we haven't got, if teams sitting against us, we've got no idea, mate, how to cope with it. And our best hope is like, obviously, when you came at us, and most of the teams have come at us, we're kind of better countering. It does really worry me. We're like a one-trick pony, mate, and I'm hugely concerned. I honestly don't think we're going to get any points over Easter, mate. I can't believe I'm meant to be a positive guy. I don't know, but
you are.
I'm really worried about it, mate, because I just wonder if it's one relegation battle too many. The 8 teams that we've got to play, I mean, not that maybe it means anything, but we didn't beat any of them in the first round of fixtures. Then you can look at it and think, well, now we can beat them again. But I just wonder, mate. I mean, Jack Radoni with a player that we interviewed yesterday in the press, and obviously he's not going to say we're in great health, we're having a great training session, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and obviously you want him to hear him say that, but it's like, I don't know, Joe. I'm just got to tell you from my heart that I want to say that we're going to stay up, but at this moment in time, I'm hugely concerned, mate.
Is there no improvement from Darren Moore, Cozzy? It doesn't sound like it.
We had the bounce, Joe. We had the bounce in that first few games and stuff. We won at Watford, and obviously we got a good point against Leeds. But again, it's maybe I'm looking at one game too many. But the Rotherham game, the trouble is the pressure, like massive. You've got to win that. That would have banked 3 points, and obviously it never turned out. And Matt, I'll tell you, he were laughing like on Monday, saying how bad Huddersfield were and stuff. And I just think the pressure were on. We had to win, and we didn't deliver. So I'm just thinking, well, Stoke is going to be exactly the same on Monday. To be honest, if we're going to win one of the games, let's be Stoke. But it was really interesting today reading the big piece on The Athletic about Stoke, because it's fascinating. Obviously, Betts 365 and the Coates family, but they were an insider at the club basically saying that if I don't know, if they said like 200 million and pay that and you go in the Premier League, they would do. So they were saying the commitment of the Coates family is massive there still. But the problem is that obviously with the financial fair play, they can't. Their wage bill's like 30 million, but Huddersfield's accounts come out today and their wage bill's like 11. And I don't know, everything, I'm really concerned with it all, man. But these are pressure games, and I just think Coventry at home's a shocker to have tomorrow. I don't know what anyone else thinks. Obviously, we'll go around. But
no, Coventry are flying, mate. I agree with you. They're going to be, they've really, 100%, mate. What about the Stoke away, mate? Are you like, how do you see that one, mate?
We want to go. I mean, they were trying to put him on the spot with the journalistic, like, come on, are we going to attack, or we've got to attack to win the games and stuff. But I think a lot might be channeled, Joe, by what happens tomorrow. I don't think we'll win tomorrow. I don't even think we'll get a point. But if we do, maybe he'll go there and try and get a point. But I just think, mate, we've won 8 games. Only Rotherham have won less, 15 draws, and that's where we'll go down, mate. But I'm not feeling a bit doom and gloom, but honestly, I think as transfer windows being poor, the Warnock debacle at the start, sacking him, and this, that, and the other, you could argue that we deserve to go, but you can say we've got the fixtures to do it. But like Ash was saying there, coming up, there's them big 6 pointers, but they worry me a little bit more because Millwall might just sit and think, right, Millwall might beat Rotherham. I think that's going to be such a key game for us. And they'll think, right, we'll just sit in there and a point's good. We'll sit in there and we'll do nothing. And I'm thinking, right, what are Huddersfield going to do? And maybe Brighton might have a big plan. And again, everyone always, international breaks, they always ask, how's your training been? Yeah, it's been brilliant. The guys have been bad. Double sessions were mentioned, all the usual stuff when you're not doing well. But it's time to deliver, and Joe. And honestly, it'll be a huge shock to me if we win tomorrow. But that, again, let's play the devil's advocate. We've come out of the ground, we've beaten Coventry, an unexpected win. Obviously, Rotherham beat Coventry, so it can be done. But yeah, it feels like to me that from where we were after the Leeds game, things are a bit more doom and gloom. And what you've got to think is that a fan base are just used to these relegation battles now. Is it doesn't take much to turn negative, but the Rotherham game, Matt, I tell you, if you were walking in there, you'd think, wow, who's higher than who in the league and stuff. It were poor, but again, I suppose you've got to go again. You've got to forget about that. Brighton are kind of stuck. It's kind of like, let's have a point at Rotherham. It could be 2 massively dropped points, but on the other hand, another journalist said he can kind of see it because he thinks if Rotherham had beaten Huddersfield, and Brighton I kind of mentioned it yesterday, the psychological damage that would have done would be massive. But I'm a bit of a who dares wins, Rodney, your kind of attitude and stuff. But I can kind of maybe see why he wouldn't, with 10 men, want to bring on some strikers. We had a decent attacking bench for a change, but obviously everyone were expecting 3 points, but then without 10 men. But I thought there was no evidence, Joe, that at 0-0 with 11 v 11, that Huddersfield were going to win that game, and that worried me massively, man.
Mm-hmm. Ash, are you rubbing your hands hearing Cossey being so downbeat? Obviously going into these games, Coventry's not an easy one. Stoke, I don't know, maybe they can get something there, but you must be happy to hear him.
Yeah, we had a chat on Monday night against all the ones that are in the wrong end of the table, and we've said it was quite not refreshing, but you're always concentrating on your own team. We're the worst. We've been in a poor run of form. We think this, we think that, but then when you've got
Plymouth lad was suicidal, wasn't
it? we talked.
Jesus, they were down. They were done.
And they were talking, and when we go around the teams like we are doing now and things, and everyone in that boat, the same boat, and it's just you have always got to be a bit positive, and it's easy for me to say we got spanked 6-0, but we have seen some real positive play. The way we played, the players we've signed in Pervader and Upbo. And then Kozik turns around and he's talking like that, and it sounds like that we're only playing for one other place now in relegation, because Huddersfield have got 23rd. Do you know? So it is that, and obviously it all depends on the games. We know the game's coming up. Anyone, and it can beat anyone. Like I say, Huddersfield got a point against Leeds. We beat Hull a few months ago. When we were in the best of form, it is good to hear people like Cosy talk and obviously Matt and the Plymouth and podcast and everyone like that, and it just gives you a little bit more positivity for me as a supporter.
Yeah, let's get some score predictions from you, Ash, for this one. So Huddersfield home against Coventry and then away at Stoke.
I really can't see anything other than a Coventry win. So I'm going to go 3-0 Coventry. Nice. Sorry, Cosy. And the Stoke.
You're not really sorry.
Sorry. Chopped popcorn from behind the chair.
Good in there.
I've got to go for a point. I think Stoke are in a real bad run of form, and they'll be scrapping for anything because they are down there with us. I want to go for a point. I'm going to go 0-0. I take the point of Cosy saying about the attacking threat that Huddersfield haven't got, and Stoke as well. So yeah, I'm going to go 0-0.
I'm going to go 2 losses, me. Coventry 2 and 1-0 Stoke. I will say sorry, Cosy. But I mean, you might be the only team with the to wreck this 2024 perfect record. So for that, you deserve to go down, my man.
Bloody hell! Come on, Joe. A bit early, that isn't it?
You'll remember
we're
Luka Ipswich last day, mate. You might need a thing. You say that about a team you've got to go there and get a result.
The half-season invincibles there.
Yeah, man, exactly, man. I was gonna half of the championship trophy in goals. So, you know what I mean? And what's your score predictions, mate?
I think the Coventry game will actually be more interesting than we think, because I think a cup run, and all the players knowing that they're going to Wembley, they probably might not take as many risks as they would because they want to be playing. So I'm going to go a close 2-1 Coventry win, I think. But then Millwall it's Stoke. Sorry, they're in free fall, aren't they? Stoke a bit. Probably depends on what happens with us tomorrow and Stoke, to be fair, but I'm going to go for, I think, a 1-1 draw for Stoke.
Nice, Matt.
Yeah, I worry for Huddersfield. That because I said that game against us, they were really poor. You know, when it went down to 10 men, I felt like it was almost a free hit for Huddersfield, because you go for it. If I think if they went for it and lost 1-0 to us, you can accept it because they've had a go to try and get those 3 points, and they just didn't. It was just limp and terrible. It was just negative. So I'm going to go 0 points as well, because sorry, I'm going 2-0 Coventry, 1-0 Stoke. Which will probably see Stoke out of it probably.
What say you then, Cossie? Come on.
You've said it, you two guys. I'm going to copy yours, John, Matt. 0-2 tomorrow and 1-0 Stoke. And just predicting this division is mad, isn't it? But we have to do it, don't we? But yeah, I'm just not feeling it. I've got to tell you what's in my heart at the moment. And there'll be people having a go at me like, "Are you sure that?" And tomorrow I might get it on X or Twitter if we've won, and I hope I do. But that means we've got 3 points. But just it feels like we're a long way off staying up now, mate, from where we were like a month back.
I feel for you, mate. I feel for you because you're a top bloke. You're a top bloke.
Huddersfield get plus 1 point at the end of the season, though, because their gaffer gets the badge out every game. So
points deductions. Only points deductions at Premier League at the moment, isn't it? Apart from Leicester's, which is going to be what a farce that is, isn't it? I don't. Why is it next season? And get some points.
They're screwed if they don't go up. By the way, because they've got quite a few players they'll need
transfer
to
embargo as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, right, mate. Let's talk Hull City. And let's get your Friday game out of the way, and then we'll chat about the big one. When you come to Ellen Road, your road a beating, I think. But let's talk about your game against Stoke first at home, mate. How do you see that one going?
I'm not looking forward to it. These are the games at home where this will cost us the top 6. I think we're really struggling. We've missed Liam Delap so much. How he drives us forwards and bringing other players into the game and things like that. We just don't have another number 9 that does the same as what he does. We brought in Noah Ohio on loan. We've not seen much from him. Played really well for the Holland under-21s over the international break. Some really nice link-up play. But Rosini will probably play Billy Sharp above him, which is really bizarre because Sharp's offered us absolutely nothing all season. But no, I don't know. We struggle against sides that just want to come here and defend and not really attack, and it just doesn't suit us. We really struggle to break teams down. We give away sloppy goals and really wasteful in front of goals. So it's a case of making sure we get a couple of early goals, and then after. I'm not going into it with much optimism. I don't think it'll be a spectacular game of football, but you just got to look at the players we've got on the pitch and just assume that we've got enough to get over the line. Hopefully, so we'll see what it goes with.
Are you? With the form Norwich are on and the fact that they've got Plymouth at the weekend, are you worried that a gap might start to create, mate, if you don't start winning like nearly every game near enough, because they're flying, aren't they, Norwich?
Yeah, I think Norwich have got a couple more difficult games coming up now. We've had a really tough run in where we played sides in and around us, other than the Birmingham game. We played Preston, at Leicester, we played West Brom, the teams that are around us kind of thing. So they've now got some tough games coming up, so let's see what they do from them. But then, in saying that, we've got to beat the teams like Stoke in order to keep up with them, because Norwich were doing just that. So I know they had, Sargent was on fire for them. They've got and Sarah, what a player he is. They've just got their best players firing, whereas like we said, we've sort of that one missing key component to our side. Going forwards, we're absolutely fine. The build-up play is perfect, and then we get into the final third, and it just sort of all falls apart. So It is. I just think that the moment Liam Delap was announced that he was going to be out for pretty much the entire. I think he's back mid-April. That's just that's too long in it. Really, we could be out of the race by then. But it's just I think that injury might have cost us. But then you look at players like Fabio Carvalho and Jaden Philogene. Can they do something to get us into it? And it's just we not having that out and out goal scorer this season, I think, might just be the thing that costs us a top 6 place.
Actually, I like what Rossini was saying today. Like, I think he was trying to because obviously going to be sell out tomorrow, and it's like we're trying to get a bit of expectations. So I think I quote him. He says, "Let's think about where we were 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Think about where we are now and enjoy it." I do like the way how he speaks about football and that as well. I watched one of those old kind of like behind the scenes on a manager thing, like Ian Holloway were interviewing a few people, and Rossini were like, "Guy," and I don't know. It's just I like the way he just like smartly just talks about the game and that as well. And I think,
he's very articulate. He knows. He's very intelligent. There's not a person I've heard involved in football, even fans of other clubs that say anything bad about him. He has a clear vision. He's he's new manager. I mean, this is his first proper job. He only had interim basis at Derby for a few weeks before they decided to go with Paul Warne instead. He's largely credited with what Derby did well under Rooney.
We're defending Rooney massively, mate.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. Look at Rooney without him. So it's a case of he's got a style of play that he wants to implement. It's perhaps it does need tinkering. I think he knows that. The club's still recovering from the alarm rain. We've got a fantastic new owner who does brilliant things, and the club's moving in the right direction. And that's the thing. But it's when fans are going to games, especially at home at the minute, the atmosphere just seems a little bit flat. And I think it's because when you play in a style of football that's play out from the back and short possession based football, it's all well and good, but we're not creating enough chances sometimes, and it's a bit too slow from the back. And when you're watching your centre backs play it amongst each other for 10 minutes, the atmosphere isn't going to be brilliant, is it? Because you're not doing anything.
Both games, isn't it? Is that about?
He is.
Yeah,
Definitely. I mean, he's statistically, if you go on who scored, the best centre back in the league at the minute. But he's just the way he drives us forwards and sits back, and I think he's won 97% of his headers or something ridiculous this season. Yeah, he's been phenomenal. He's going to be massive missing it. What's frustrating is if he'd have got through that game without getting a yellow card, he'd have missed the threshold and he'd have been fine. So yeah, it was a bit gutting. I think Seri's out for it as well. I'm sure Seri had a 10th yellow as well, so that might be a big miss. But yeah, it's up for I would imagine Sean McLaughlin to step up. He was good. He's more than.
If you don't make the playoffs, do you think would you be disappointed with that? No, because it's been a bit weird. It's not you've kind of
I think pre and post January expectations for me are completely different. So before January, we had a side that is good enough to contend for the top 6, but we'd have been more than happy, I think, with the top 10 position. Just being in the discussion for the playoffs would have been a success. But then you see how it was backed in January, and the players we brought in. I mean, Anas Sarori won the league with Burnley last season. We've got Fabio Carvalho won the league with Fulham. And loads of people after him. And the players we've brought in, Ryan Giles, 20 odd assists in 2 seasons from left back. These kind of players, they are phenomenal at this level, and I think that you've got to look post January and say, anything other than top 6 would have been a massive letdown because of the quality of the squad we've got. Like I say, it'll be really frustrated Rosinia that we didn't have the lap to add into that equation, because I do think that if we'd have had the lap available for all these games, we'd probably be in the top 6 with West Brom around the same points. But it's why have we brought these strikers in like Billy Sharp and Noah Ohio if we're not going to use them and play players like Fabio Carvalho as a false 9, and which is all well and good, but then when you're getting down the wings and you're putting the ball in the box, what does a natural number 10 do? They drop to the edge of the box for the space of the ball to come out, don't they? And we have no one in the box for it. So yeah, we seem to have recruited well, and then the injury to Delap just sort of curtailed everything. But no, it would definitely be a disappointment if we didn't get top 6. If you look at the players we've got.
When you mention them signings, it is, isn't it? Like, let's be honest, Carvalho was on loan at Leipzig, wasn't he? I know he weren't playing, but this is the kind of level of player that he is. So yeah, I hear you. For sure. Gives a score prediction for Stoke, mate.
Yeah, there's not usually many goals at home unless we play a side that actually wants to attack like Leicester. It's probably going to be a case.
I thought you were just needing to go, so I was like, what's up, Matt?
I'm just reminding everybody how rubbish we are.
It'll probably be a really dull. We just sort of try and break down Stoke for 90 minutes kind of game. So I'm going to go for a rather frustrating, just get over the line near the end, 1-0 win. I think I've got to have something to cling on to going into Leeds on Monday. I think.
Yeah. Let's get some quick fire then. Matt, what do you reckon? Hull Stoke.
I think Hull have just enough, but I think it will be close. I was going to go 2-1 Hull because Stoke will have to start fighting for their lives from right now, really.
Yeah, for sure. I think Hull will beat them as well. I'll go for a 1-0 win. Ash?
2-0 Hull. 2-0.
Posse?
FIFA virus, mate. It's going to hit Hull hard and no Greaves. 1-1.
There you go. 1-1. We play Watford on Friday, last game of the night. Hopefully reclaim top spot. But we do have a few injury issues. Nonto apparently has picked up an knock. Gruyev. Rutter went for hernia surgery. He's back training, but don't know whether he'll play. Obviously, Dan James misses the penalty, so worried about him. Firpo only came back last night because he was playing for Dominican Republic.
These all sound like excuses, lads.
but having put together my lineup based on all this, we still have too much for Watford. So, and I'm glad about this because I don't like Tom Cleverley because he's an ex-Manchester United. So I hope we wipe the floor with him. But I'm going to go for a comfortable 2-0 win, controlled, goal in each half, and then we'll probably whoop Hull. But we'll get onto that in a second. But Mark, gives your score prediction for Watford Leeds.
You should beat Watford. Watford are pretty poor. So I'll go same 2-0. It should be relatively comfortable.
Cossie?
Yeah, 2-0 Leeds.
Ash?
I'm going to give you a bit more credit. I'm going to go 3-1. 3-1 Leeds.
We don't concede, you know. We haven't conceded from open play this year.
Well, you've just all the. I've just listened to what you've just said for the last 30 seconds.
Yeah,
you know,
fair.
I take on all. But
Joe,
no, I'm sure you're not bothered about a point, a goal here.
No.
It's the 3 points you need. So I'm still going to say 3-1.
Yeah.
Joe, I don't know if I was reading a Leeds fanzine or whatever website, but I'm going to quote here. They said, your left-hand side is decimated tomorrow. Decimated. Is that right or not? Is this fake news, man?
That's fake news because Somerville's playing and he plays on the left. Yeah. No Firpo, but then Byram will come in who's been great, so don't listen to that. They've probably got the left and right wrong way around or something.
I think Watford's one of the best defenders. That Wesley Odd is banned as well, so
he's banned in here.
Yeah, it's good for you, that mate.
Yeah, it is. Happy days. And do you want to give us a score prediction for Watford Leeds?
Watford, I think, are again one of those few teams that actually have realistically nothing to play for. So I think Leeds will have too much. 2-0 Leeds probably. They just don't concede, do they? Like you say.
Yeah.
I'm going to start.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start.
Monday when we win 3-0.
I'm going to start us off with this because I think I'm just going to sit here for 5 minutes poking the bear, to be honest, and then I'll let Anne come in and respond. No, I've been quite frustrated, actually, with a lot of the Leeds United fans because they all see Hull as being a bit of a banana skin, and I think they're getting far too much credit, if you ask me. They have... And I don't mean, like, in the league, yeah, they're going well, but, I mean, this is Elland Road, where we've not been beaten this season. This is a team that have, like I say, not conceded a goal from open play. Have only conceded 3 this year. We're flying and we're firing on all cylinders. And, you know, I think we owe Hull one for... Did you beat us or was it a point, mate? It was a point, wasn't it? Last time.
0-0. Traore missed an open goal to win it near the end.
Yeah, that's the one. Yes, I do remember that actually now. I always think Rodon got sent off, but he didn't, did he? It was...
he did. He got 2 yellows.
It was that game, so that wasn't...
Yeah.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah.
So we were down to 10 men. I thought, this is how bad my memory is. So it was the hench referee, right? The big hench one, because he was shocking against Millwall. He's a shocking ref. But yeah, no, I just think they're getting a little bit too much credit, and I think they are a good side, but they're not on our level. And I just think 2024, Daniel Farke's done what he's done with his Norwich sides as well. turn of the year just turns up the gas and they go flying. So, and yeah, we might not bat a team 6-0 and stuff. I just think we just control games now. And and I think that's what will happen against Hull. So I think it's actually going to surprise people, but I think it'll be really comfortable, and I think we'll win the game 2-0. I don't think we get beat now, lads, between now and end of season, if I'm being totally honest. I think I'm sorry. You can, mate. I've said it all on Twitter and everything. I think the league's done, man. I think the league's done, and it's ours. Has anyone got anything to respond? Ash,
you're playing last in these last two. I mean, it could work for you.
Yeah.
But what happens if all of a sudden the results have gone against you, and then people come in Ellen Road thinking, "Shit, Ipswich have beaten Southampton." Just before you, and do you think that might? I'm just throwing in just something for the
I just think
or
with
you just confident in your own ability, mate.
I just think Farker's too experienced at doing this to let that sort of affect his players. Of course, players always say, don't they? Oh, we don't check the table, which is bullshit. Of course they do. They'll know the results coming into it. Yeah, it might make the fans nervy, but I think Farker's too experienced to let it affect them. It sounds mad, and I do think we'll beat Watford, but I'm more worried about the lineup there. I think by Hull on the Monday, I know it's only 2 days' time, but maybe Rutter won't start on. He might not start on Friday, but then we'll probably be ready to go on Monday. So, and listen, with their striker issues, like Ant's just mentioned, I just think at the back right now, genuinely, we don't concede chances. It's like them two coming together, Rodon and Ampadu. They're impenetrable. We just don't concede chances. I can't remember the last time someone's carved us open. So, yeah, I just think we'll have too much for Hull. So, what do you reckon, Ant? How are you feeling, mate? Are you confident? Do you think you can bloody the nose?
I'm trying to go there with the mentality that all good runs have to come to an end at some point, and I think that Leeds have been playing the chasers for the majority of the season, and now that they've got top spot, does that mentality change? Kind of thing. That's we've got to take what we can get going into a ground where a team that hasn't lost all season. But as a Hull City fan and any other Hull City fan will tell you, we play far better against the sides that play attacking football and open up. Southampton and Leicester said that they had far too much for us, and we've come away from both their grounds with 3 points. So
thank you for that.
It's exactly. So it's one of those things where I would much rather have our last 9 games of the season to be the top 9 of the division than the bottom 9, because we play far better against the sides in the top half. Like you say, I just don't think that we've got enough in terms of, like you say, strikers and things like that at the minute to unless he now fancies a higher and he plays on against Stoke and scores, maybe something like that. But for me, it screams like a last minute Billy Sharp bit of housery or something like that.
When you were talking about him, though, Ant, when you were talking about him, if anyone would, it would be him. I tell you.
Yeah. But we've got, like I say, if you take the fact that we don't really play without a striker, our starting 11, obviously we'll be missing Jacob Greaves, but our 11's brilliant. Louis Coyle's probably been one of the most underrated players in the league this season. I imagine he will win Manager's Player of the Season, because I think the fans will go for Philogene. But he would be definitely in that question for Player of the Season from the fans as well. Alfie Jones has been fantastic. Ryan Giles, he's got assists in him. You've got the players at the front four. That Abdush, that Turkish lad we've signed, might be the gem of January. Since he's come into the squad, he's been absolutely fantastic. Got a wand of a left foot as well. And then we've got players like Philogene and Cavalier that can win games with moments of magic. And you've just got to hope that one of those players can come up with something like that. And it's a crunch game. It's a big game for both of us. I'd like to think we'd go there and at least come away with a point. But for what it's worth, I just think Leeds might obviously scrape it a bit. But I do think we'll score. I think we'll break that little run of conceding.
Yeah, that little run. You got to take your wins where you can, I suppose. Yeah. Cossey, come on then. I know you. If anyone's going to dampen my spirits, it'll be you, mate, with a bold prediction.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1-1, and watch out, mate. If you get a draw against Leeds, and especially if you get a man sent off, mate, just go into hiding, get some bodyguards on your house, come off social media, Mate, how dare you taking any points off them, especially when you're another Yorkshire team and that. But yeah, I'm going to chuck this hand grenade in here, mate, and keep my head down when I go through Leeds tomorrow. So 1-1.
1-1. You say this, right? But your owner, that Kevin Nagel, he's not stopped speaking about us because it keeps getting clipped up and he's going, oh, their team, and he goes, that begins with, what did he say? They're not Huddersfield fans. Maybe they support that team that begins in L and ends in S. Mate, What's he doing?
We were mad about what he was saying. I know, I'm Joe. Bloody hell.
Oh, man, you just think. What did he say as well? He went, it won't be like that forever. And it's like, you do realise we're at the top and you're in the relegation zone.
He didn't go to Rotherham game, mate. That's what he'd have a different opinion. But no, it's American football owners, mate. Obviously,
yeah.
He's trying to understand English culture, I think.
Too much, though, right?
Got it a little bit wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
He doesn't say soccer anymore. I think he's learnt that. But yeah, just good ball. PK.
I honestly, last year we had Jesse and I got called xenophobic so many times because I dislike Jesse Marsh. It's madness. Yeah, you can't say anything. The USA men's national team accounts are brutal. Leeds fans will tell you that. So, they won't have a bad word said about their players. Ash, come on then. Hull versus Leeds. What do you reckon?
I don't really care, really, because it's the one on the table for me. I can't see anything other than a Leeds win, I think, just what you've just said. I really don't want it. I really want, and I really do. I want it. I want you.
The show won't be on next week if they do beat us, by the way.
As expected. And if Leeds win, Tom's coming on.
Yeah, exactly.
1-0 Leeds for me. Sorry, I don't want it, but yeah. Can't see anything other in great form, aren't they? So.
Yeah, come on.
I do take what you. Sorry, I do take what Anne said. Where you are now, leaders and not chasers.
No, there might be. You're right.
That could be a mentality shift.
Matt, you deserve an award from the Raw family this year, mate. You do, for coming on every week and doing your podcast every week. And oh, mate, honestly, Joe. Should I get so much, shouldn't it, mate?
What do you what?
Would you, mate? If you were the
he wants 3 points. That's what he wants.
Do you want that?
No, you want
that? Has it got Steve Evans on there? Steve Evans autograph.
Yeah.
I can get you this championship winners medal signed by Bielsa if you want, mate.
Joe, have you got Steve Evans sombrero, mate?
No.
Take that and sell it on eBay.
Yeah. I haven't got that, mate. No.
That's under 12 swimming medal, that, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah. Get you one of these, Gary Speed's. Actually, we have.
Why don't they do them anymore?
I bought them online. Yeah. I do have a Brian Dean one. Antonio Bauer.
I'm trying to think any extra other than Leeds guys. Who's played?
I know.
Not many. Nobody good.
No. Gary McAllister, you want that one? No.
Has he got hair? He hasn't had any hair for about 20 years. That can't be him, mate.
Well, it's hardly going to be him now, is it? It will be him 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Joe, what shirt you got on? Is that a foreign shirt or just some random?
Nah, it's a Primark special, this, mate.
Times that hard, aren't they?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's it. So what take your pick then, Matt? What are you after? What do you want me to post to you? Any of them?
I'll have a search on Twitter. I'll see if I can get you some Clucas or Tom Eves memorabilia from some City fans.
Yeah, I'll do.
Go on then.
Yeah, Leeds. Farke's the man you want in charge. This time of season, Farke's the man you want in charge of your team. What he did at Norwich every time you're out, it just started grinding results out. It became very, very not sexy in March, April time for Norwich, and they just ground it out. So 2-1 Leeds, I reckon.
2-1, there you go. The goal that's scored, is it from open play or a set piece?
We don't score set pieces.
Oh, yeah, don't score a set piece. Sorry, I forgot to say.
We're garbage at set pieces. We're that bad at set pieces that we scored one against Huddersfield.
Oh.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. Right. Well, that brings us to the end. Listen, I hope you all have a fantastic Easter, a good and prosperous Easter. If you are religious, enjoy your religious festivities. Let me shout out Christopher Spofford Chapel as well. What a legend this guy is. Just gifted 50 Just Your Football Show memberships. You're a legend, mate. Thank you very much, and happy Easter to you if you do indeed celebrate it. Thank you for always supporting the channel. It means an awful lot, mate. Genuinely does. Tomorrow, we are going to be locked in for nigh on 11 hours. We're doing each game. We're doing the Leicester game, Southampton game, Ipswich game, and then the Leeds game. So hopefully it all goes our way. So we'll be locked in. So make sure you join me. Lads, is there anything you want to promote or mention? And how did your charity gig go?
Oh yeah, no, it's been a weird month because usually after a lot of walking, my legs are on fire. But I feel like I've got used to it now. So yeah, but we've raised £156. I think the last total was for.
You still haven't sent it me. You were supposed to send it.
Oh God, yeah, no, it's honestly, mate. Like my life's so hectic at the minute. I forget to send everything to anybody. Like I start a new job on Tuesday as well, so it's been even more mad this weekend. So yeah, it's been crazy. But yeah, I've raised £156. I think the last total was for campaign against living miserably. So yeah.
Good man. Great cause. Anything, Ash, you want to promote? You did your Easter thing, didn't you, actually, at the ground? How did that go down?
Yeah, it went fantastic, thanks. Yeah, 659 Easter eggs. So they were donated.
Did you get any off Leeds fans at all?
No, I don't think so. They wouldn't have said. I mean, some geezer chucked one at my head. That could have been a Leeds fan. Yeah, 659 eggs. They were donated to 2 charities around Sheffield. Fantastic. Nice. The club got on board with it. Had photo of the players, donated some and everything. So yeah, really good. Do the same again next season, next year, I think.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, no, nothing else. Just the usual. We've got a couple of podcasts out at the minute. Yeah, just cracking on, talking crap. It's got a bit more positive in the last couple of weeks, but could all go downhill, couldn't it, in another couple of weeks? But that's it.
I tell you what,
that's the roller coaster of podcasting.
Yeah, let's ask a quick question, Matt. Out of these two, on my right and my left, which one stays up? Which one goes down?
I want Sheffield Wednesday to go down.
Quel surprise. Yeah.
But I can't see Wednesday going down. I like Danny Roll, and he's very good at what he does. And after that game against Huddersfield, I can't see them staying up either. So it's probably Huddersfield and then probably Plymouth that come down with us as well.
You got any response to that, Cossie, mate?
No, mate. I'm just clinging to that Plymouth guy's despair on that podcast. I think he'd been denied Easter eggs and happiness. The only thing is, I think they're 4 points in front of us, so I'm just going to think how we're going to get above them.
I think they both stay up. I think you look at Blackburn's running; it's absolutely horrific. They're in financial ruin, and they've won 2 in the last since the start of December or something. They're in awful form. Birmingham, they've just brought Rowe in. I'm not convinced by him ever. But they're also in really, really dire form. Plymouth falling like a stone. I think both of them stay up personally. Wow. I think it'll be Rotherham, Blackburn, and Plymouth that go down.
Oh, that's end the show. Thanks for watching, guys.
I actually want Birmingham to go. I want Birmingham to go because of what they did to. Yeah,
I'll be wounded if Huddersfield stay up because it means I've got to go to their ground again next season, and I've only just come away from their ground happy for the first time ever.
But you might get it playoffs, mate. Are you quitting now or what?
No, yeah, true. Yeah, no, we won't be playing next season. Me and Joe will be on this show on our own.
Leeds at Wembley, mate, and get your revenge off Joe.
It's good hearing other people off other podcasts, other teams saying about us and obviously Cossie and the perception of Plymouth, Blackburn, Stoke, and all that. I've just seen a stat on Twitter earlier, and it was we've won 5 of our last 8, and the 3 that we lost were against the top 3. So, looking at I'm not a massive stats guy and all that, but looking at that and people talking and Ant talking about obviously Plymouth and other I am getting more and more positive. Obviously, that might be beat out of me at 5 o'clock on Monday night, but
Easter's going to have such a wild swing, man, for top and bottom. I think it's massive this weekend, but that's what we're there for, isn't it? No Prem either on the Friday, is there, or Monday, so it'll be all eyes on the Championship, I think. So, yeah. Good stuff. Still can't wait to see the back of it, but yeah, we'll see. Can I ask you a quick question? How do you think Leicester are going to react to this points deduction, to this FFP stuff going on potentially?
I think they're playoff bound, Leicester. Personally, I think that
you've said it for ages, haven't you?
Because they were so far in front. What was it? 17 points at some point. 17 points clear to now not even be top. And then you look at the teams like Ipswich that are on fire, Leeds are on fire. Southampton, I think, have got one last little burst of run in them as well. And I just think you look at Leicester and they saw that they were so comfortable at some point, but then the teams behind them just didn't stop winning. That mentality-wise, they were just like, how do we keep doing this? And now it's cracked. And I don't know if Enzo has enough experience as a manager to recover it. But they've definitely got the players to. But when you're at this point in the season, you need that confidence and that momentum, and they don't have either at the minute. I wasn't convinced by them at our ground. It was a really good game. They came away with a point based on the fact that we gave them a sloppy goal and a stupid penalty that was a dive. So, it's one of those where I just think that you look at Leeds. I think it'll be Leeds Ipswich top 2, and I think Leicester will be 4th, personally.
Wow. Joe, I think that game is absolutely huge tomorrow against Bristol City because it's the first game. And it's like after a bit of a gap, obviously they got knocked out of the cup and then there's all this points deduction and stuff. I think if they win that tomorrow, I think they'll be fine. And the Norwich is a huge game again for them. Obviously they're flying as well. But I just think if they don't get 3 points at Bristol City, then the fan base...
It's not an easy place to go either,
no, it isn't, mate. They could do something at Bristol, even though they're not... They're pretty much out of everything, aren't they? But that's going to be fascinating for everyone to watch early doors. Sky have been naughty, I think, putting that first because it's a trek from Leicester to Bristol. But I think they've done that for a reason, Joe, putting them first, mate, and putting you last. They're not daft, man. But so that'd be great to watch tomorrow dinner.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. I think Bristol could get something. Anyway, we'll be here all night if we carry on. But listen, smash a like on the video. Make sure you check out all these channels. Have a great Easter, everyone. Enjoy the festivities. Enjoy your bank holiday weekend if you're going out and whatnot. And we'll see you next week when
we will if Leeds win both games. But if they don't, we will not give it back.
We'll not
promise.
Especially if they don't beat us. It might be on if they just get the one win.
We'll get to 10-6 and we'll be messages. This show tonight, Joe. No response. Not even read. That'll be
No, it will be. I promise. Right, we'll leave it there, man. Bye.